Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So one of the topics that Channel Mum is discussing this month is birth plans. So I'm going to talk to you about whether I wrote one, what I wrote and whether it went right, and my tips for writing a birth plan. So both times round I would say I did write a birth plan. I didn't really go too much into writing a birth plan. I got told basically that you can write a birth plan and chances are it's not really gonna happen, and sadly that was the case both times. I didn't do anything special, I didn't do anything in particular. It was a page that my midwife gave me, I think out of my book. I can't even tell you what colour it was because I think both times, and I think it depends on your area as to whether it's a green or a purple or something like that. But it was basically just a page in there that said any medications that you wanted or you didn't want, if you wanted a water birth, if you didn't, if you were opposed to having an episiotomy, how you felt about having the baby placed on you straight away. So I think for certain things like that, don't get me wrong, there are certain things that you can have within reason, you can have control over. For example, if you want your partner to cut the cord, if you want the baby placed on you. I mean, sadly, there are very rare circumstances where things might happen and that might not be able to be the case, but certainly I think things like that you can, it's particularly as well if you've got religious beliefs or anything like that, it is good to have it noted down so it is in your notes. So if it all does go plain sailing and you get the birth that you want and you hope for, then that's brilliant. But I would say be open-minded to the fact that you might say I don't want any drugs, and you get there and you might be begging for that epidural, or equally you might say yeah, no, I want this epidural, and you get in there and you feel like actually you're coping okay. It's just good so that when you're there and you're in pain and you're in labour, you're not having to try and reiterate to the midwives what it is that you want, whether it is that you want to get in the pool, that you really don't want to be in water, things like that. So yeah, I did write birth plans. It was literally just a sheet of paper that was in the book. I didn't do anything in particular. I was pretty open to anything and everything. I did say ideally I didn't want an epidural. I have a lot of problems with my back and I was a bit funny about them kind of being near my back. I didn't end up having one either time, although I was shouting for one near the end both times round. So yeah, I just kind of put I was open to anything. My dream was to have a water birth, bit of gas and air, and it will be plain sailing. Sadly, I didn't get my water births. I did use it for contractions and easing the labour pains, and it did help, it really did, but sadly I didn't actually give birth in the pool. I have done my birth story for both of my children, which I will link in the description box below. But yeah, so my tips for planning a birth, if that is what's going to make you feel a little bit more relaxed, I would say write one, but be open-minded that it might not happen. But at least you've written down, you've got your wishes and your ideal birth written down on a piece of paper so that you're not having to convey to the midwives whilst you're mid-labour. But yeah, if there's things that you really feel very strongly about, I would suggest that you write them down. But otherwise, yeah, just go with the flow. Remember that it's nothing you can't handle. Whatever's thrown your way during labour, you will find a way to cope with it because we're just amazing. That's what us women do, and we're built to do it however it goes, whether you end up with a C-section or a natural water birth and no drugs or every drug going, you will be fine. And the main thing is you're going to be having your baby. So as long as it's all done safely, and everyone's healthy and okay at the end of it, I was pretty much open to whatever the hospital needed to do to ensure that both me and my baby would be safe and delivered okay. I was more than happy with. So that would be my tip. Don't focus so much on you feel like you need to be a martyr and not take any of the drugs, or you need to to take all the drugs, or don't take the drugs, or whatever. Just have in mind that the goal is for you and your baby to be safe and happy. But yeah, it's kind of been a bit waffly. Don't really know if it's made any sense, but yeah, I would say, yeah, to round it up, because I love to waffle, do write a birth plan, but be open-minded that it might not go that way. But if you are about to embark on the wonderfulness that is labour, because it is a beautiful thing. I know it's not for everybody, but you know, you're bringing life into the world. So you know, positive mind, positive vibes and all that. Go in there thinking that it will all be okay, and chances are it will be. So all the best from me. If you wrote a birth plan or you're planning on writing a birth plan, let me know in the description box. Sorry, in the comments below, underneath the description box. In the description box, I will leave a link to Channel Mum, where there will be lots of other mummies discussing birth plans and what they did and their tips for writing a birth plan. So get involved and let us know. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.